Kept you all waiting, huh? Yeah, I'm still alive. You know, in pretty good shape. I've been hitting the gym still. My mental health, on the other hand, well, different story. But I'm fixing that. Absent. The real stuff from France that you can't get in the US. A little tip. I fix a problem for somebody. I'm good at fixing problems for everybody except me. You know, had to help someone get away from a narcissist, and given that it wasn't somebody nearby, my means of doing so were rather, well, Lilith, and she doesn't like narcissistic men either. Sorry. I need to multitask for a second. I keep it traditional. I just got back from work, by the way. But given that I am, still in my battle against narcissists, reminded me of something. A video I never made. I get ideas and then lose them. This one is important, and I'll stop rambling on in a minute, I promise. Kind of ASMR, isn't it? Come on, dissolve. But it is, we've talked about, some of the things, how narcissists pick their targets and stuff, but this one's more specific. It's the dating cycle of the covert narcissist. It's important because covert, they fool some people. It's not like a borderline where within 2 minutes you know what they are. An overt narcissist, within maybe 10, they're beating their chest. Coverts fool some people, particularly people that aren't that bright. Betas, people that are followers, conformists, and groupthink. But we've talked about that. So, what is the dating cycle of a covert narcissist, and how do they pick their targets? Well, covert narcissists and I, we do have something in common. We tend to be drawn to the same type of women. As you all know, and the name of the channel gives it away, I'm an INFJ. But I have a thing primarily for ENFJs. So do covert narcissists. Now, I like them because they're so sweet and empathetic and understand, my very eccentric mind. Because they're like somewhat as eccentric, but they're able to hide it better, whereas we can't. So, why do coverts target ENFJs? Well, because they're empathetic, they're people pleasers, but most of all, as much as I love ENFJs, they have a fatal flaw. They struggle to stand up for themselves and say no, which is like ringing, it's blood in the water for a narcissist. Green fairy time. It's very witchy in its appearance. Suits me, doesn't it? It is like 140 proof. But, so, there'll be a cycle. And this is how the cycle begins. The covert narcissist, deep down, as I've discussed in other videos, they know what they are, but their bravado, second to none. The covert narcissist will walk around. Usually a covert narcissist will be average in all ways. Looks, height, intelligence, general knowledge of things, social skills, you name it. Wealth. What am I missing? Just average across the board. But they'll put this mask on that they're better than everybody. They'll typically be very trendy dressers, because narcissists, they have no identity, so they'll latch on to whatever is in vogue at the time. Figure of speech, maybe the magazine too, I don't know. I want to read that. Ironic, right? I am a model. But they'll try to emulate what's ever popular and try to act like they're better than everybody. It gives them that false sense of confidence and security. And they'll target somebody a little out of their league. So, you know, covert narcissist who's like a 6 is gonna go for a girl who's like an 8. But it'll be someone like an ENFJ whose confidence isn't great, like doesn't know what a catch he is. And he'll use groupthink and peer pressure. Covert narcs, typically they like leadership positions because they like to be the smartest people in the room. But again, they're average, so they have to seek out professions that are largely based on bullshitting rather than merit and knowledge. Because covert narcissists, they are very good bullshitters. They're excellent liars. I have to give them that. I'm an INFJ. I'm a terrible liar, so I don't even try. Much to my own detriment at times. Truth and integrity has cost me so much. You're still with me, right, Lilith? The altar's over there. I've shown it to you. It's gotten more snazzy. But they are like covert narcissists, as Ollie Matthews would say, given that he was raised by his father. Covert narcissists, and one thing they're most drawn to job-wise is sales, because it's all about bullshitting. It's all about lying, convincing people they need something they don't. You know, Ollie Matthews, I know he's kind of gone off the rails in recent years, but his original videos about his stories that are about 10 years old are like kind of a gold standard for speaking about narcissistic abuse and worth watching. Also his baby boomer videos. But covert narcissist, like he said, his father was the ultimate salesman. He'd make you give you the shirt off his back and make you think like he's doing you a favor. That's the covert narcissist. So this cycle starts like that. The covert narcissist will make themselves seem like they're such a catch, you know. In reality, covert narcissists are typically ones that the bravado extends to like them appearing to be much more better off than they are, you know, like that nice car is leased, you know. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I drive a 2019 Honda CR-V, but you know what it is? You know what it is? It's paid for. You know, coverts will live in nice apartments they can barely afford. Everything, like, you know, they're the live paycheck to paycheck and the credit card's maxed out every month, whereas I pay mine off in full. INFJs, I know. I'm just not trying to put myself on a pedestal. I'm just defending those of us with integrity because we so rarely get it. People say they value integrity, but when push comes to shove, not really. Not really until you want to ask us to stick our necks out. Sometimes we get shot at. So that's, you know, the first move. Covert will be, I'm so great, this and that, everybody loves me. Not really, because they surround themselves with fake people. People kind of like them. Narcissistic tendencies, but not as bright. You know, groupthink people, people that need a leader, you know the type. So that'll be the first step. They'll establish their target. As I said, they'll look for someone who struggles to say no. They're usually not successful right off the bat. It's usually a wear them down kind of thing, you know, death by 1,000 cuts. But they're persistent, the coverts, because they know when they pick a target and they've scoped out, you know, the type of person that isn't one to stand up for themselves, doesn't really execute free will very well. They know once they get their hooks in, they're pretty much set. And usually these targets will be like, well, you know, I'll just go out with them once and say I did this and that. It never works that way. They always up the game from the beginning. Coverts are also the, you know, I know best thing, even though if you call them on, it's like, why do you know best? Explain why you are such an expert. They'll either freeze up and give you the, oh, I just know. That's a big sign of a narcissist right there, especially a boomer. But, or they'll just, you know, pull something, and then if you call them on it, then they lose it. Love it. Love it! So, now they got their hooks in their target, right? now it's time to push boundaries. Because again, they're seeking people that don't really know how to set boundaries. So they'll be calling all the shots, making all the decisions, determining the speed and pace of things, where they go, what they do, and they'll be trying to mold that person. That person is nothing but a trophy to them, you know, usually physically more attractive and much more likable as a person, especially if they're an ENFJ, because nobody's more likable than an ENFJ. That's not subjective either. That's objective. Well, in my opinion. See what I did there? Hooks are in, and as you all know, narcissists can't maintain that mask forever. So the relationship will progress, boundaries will be pushed, exploitation will be going on that no one can see. You get my drift there? I'm trying to keep this monetized. Exploitation, the worst kind, the kind that scars for life, the kind that most won't speak about and just accept it as normal and what a girlfriend is supposed to do. In the mind of a covert, it's whatever the covert says. They'll hide behind that. Well, that's just how it works. Not really. You know, she says otherwise. But that's how it'll go. There'll be periods of, you know, fake happiness for the coverts, wearing the mask. They don't last long. They'll usually be when the target's starting to slip away, but then they'll go back to their true selves and, you know, promises that things will change. Again, bravado, lies, they're very good at it. Very convincing at times, especially if you don't know anything about narcissists or narcissistic abuse and you don't know what you're dealing with. And the saddest part, in my opinion, as things progress over time, the target is in that mindset for so long of dealing with it. And of course, the covert's saying what it kept, how lucky the target is to have them and blah, blah, blah. I chose you, I could have any, you know the kind of shit they say. That becomes normalized, which is what the covert wants. The abuse becomes normalized. It becomes comfortable. The covert will make the target think that they need them, that they can't exist without them. They will try their damnedest to make the target emotionally, financially dependent on them. One of the biggest moves they can do in this case, especially if they really, you know, are getting their supply and see this person as a trophy, is to get them to move in. Because, well, now they have access to them all the time. Leaving them would mean moving, and that can get messy. I am drinking. Liberated women from those situations while the covert, or in some cases the overt, was at work. And again, them and they always have like lackey henchmen sometimes got involved. I did one not long ago, and I got where's the camera? The battle scars to prove it on my knuckles, because, well, things didn't go as planned, and I had to embrace my Italian-American heritage, which I don't do all that often anymore in that way. Not as much as when I was younger, you know, and I have to be careful. I am in the testing process to become a cop. Oh yeah, we're going there. A real cop with integrity. Ooh. I gotta do something. My status quo is, it's maddening. It's maddening. Right when something's about to go my way, it's snatched away. I think I talked about that. It's not even funny anymore. I'm laughing, but not in a healthy way. But that'll be their next move. Again, more control, normalization, makes it harder for the target to get away. Makes the target, again, want to give up. It's like, when they get to that point, a lot of targets will think that they're past the point of no return. They're not really, but they're going to be made to believe that. And the abuse has become so normalized that it's comfortable, that they can't imagine it being any other way, that they're made to think that if they leave, whatever's going to happen next will be worse. It goes back to eternal recurrence. Do you curse fate or do you embrace fate? Well, you do neither. You seek the third option, the edge of the coin, and you seek your own empowerment. You seek free will. You seek Lilith, especially if you're female. If you're male, you can try. She wants you, she'll come to you. But there's others out there you can reach out to. Why Lilith is so important, and it's so important to clear her name, which has been so slandered. Lilith did nothing wrong, but, stand up for herself and say, no, I won't be a slave girl. Because you can't save slave girls. I learned that the hard way, too. I almost died. Somebody shot me. Facts. All right. So, now, this can still progress. So let's say Covert's got their target living with them, but he's gotten sloppy. He's gotten sloppy thinking that, oh, there's no way I can lose my target, this and that. But the target's got people around her that they're not fooled. They're just not. Because narcissists don't fool everybody. Like real friends, people the target trusts. They're whispering in her ear. You deserve better than this. You gotta go. We see this guy for what he's really like. And then, of course, the ebb and flow of, little bit of good times. That's part of the cycle, too. When the narcissist puts the mask back on and realizes the target's slipping away, and, quote, changes, temporarily, every time they do that, they hate doing it. Because it gives them, they're giving up a little bit of control because they view this target as their property, and therefore they should be able to do whatever they want and not have to do what the target wants. The target's lucky to have them because they're, the second coming. And of course, they view men like me, few of us as there are, as, well, demons. I mean, in a bad way, not in a free will kind of way, yeah. Not in a, agents of free will, the queen of free will and defiance, who is a force to be reckoned with, and all narcissists should fear. Not so much. But these good times become shorter and shorter, and the narcissist then afterwards will push the boundaries even more, right? Because again, the target's comfortable at this point. The narcissists think they've won until they get tired of the target and cast it aside. There is a next level, believe it or not. If, and in some cases, the target, a lot of times at this point, her confidence will be shattered. Shattered. The idea of anything other than the status quo is like unthinkable, like just technically possible but could never happen, kind of like me dating Amelia Clark, technically possible, never gonna happen, like that. But this is, we're not talking something so insane. This would be something as simple as like the target meets a guy who's actually her type that she wants to pursue, not like a guy, oh, I wish he would pursue me. Like, no, he's so my type that I'm going to pursue him, which most women don't do. ENFJs are not the biggest doing that. When they do it, it really means something. Because a lot of times it's someone like me and it's like, wow, they exist. I'm not going to find another one of them before menopause. But they're so conditioned that the status quo must continue, that they can't change. The idea of change is just so terrifying because they've been so conditioned that change brings pain, status quo good, change brings pain. And that they can't make their own decisions anymore because the narcissist has them so conditioned that, oh, no, you must listen to me. I know best. You just got to trust me and do as I say. And if you do as I say and relinquish your entire free will to me, well, they'll try to play like, well, you'll have everything you want, but the reality is you're just their slave girl. However, there are, few of us there are, guys, particularly if they develop an emotional connection, will be like, no, I'm going to expose this. I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to go for it anyway. Very dangerous. So what will the narcissist do in this case? Or perhaps in the same scenario, if the target's family is like, we see you, we see what you really are. There is a final card they can play. And that card is to try to get the target to move far away. Because if they do that, then the target's cut off from their family, their friends, and, potentially the other love interest that they're thinking about leaving the narcissist for, the one that's actually their type that'll treat them right, that they didn't think existed, then they didn't think would be interested in them, but it turns out that she's exactly his type, like that. No, I'm not speaking from personal experience. But anyway, that's the final card. This is the cycle of the covert narcissist and how they get their targets, romantically speaking. And it's a cycle some recognize and some don't. It's a cycle that's hard to beat, because to beat it, you must go no contact. And to go no contact means you must embrace free will. Which can be difficult for some, easy for others. Some are, even when free will's right there, like even when they reach out for free will, reach out to have someone break the chains of oppression and keep them from being, if you watch my tarot video, the Eight of Swords, the saddest card in the entire deck, when the Knight of Swords rides in, the Agent of Change, to save the woman on the Eight of Swords. Sometimes the Seven of Swords will prevail, and he's walking off with the target's free will. Self-respect, confidence, a whole bunch of things, really. But there's 2 swords left that'll eventually come from them. All right, I'll stop the tarot. That is the cycle. It's very important to notice, and more so if there is someone you care about stuck in that cycle, you have to have the bravery and integrity to try to explain to them the cycle that they are in. Unless, of course, you're trying to date that target. Then it is nearly impossible because, there's nobody with more bias. Even if you're someone who, say, has liberated a few dozen people in the past 20 years from that cycle, when you come across one that you have a bias towards, even if you develop feelings for that person because they pursued you and hid from you that they were in a relationship, let alone one with a narcissist, prior to you developing feelings, it is still bias if you then try to explain to them that they're with a narcissist, keeping in mind that you've been blatantly, albeit honest, about wanting to be with them yourself. You see the dilemma there. But that's a little side note that's just not really relevant or should be paid attention to. I'm just putting it out there for anybody who's in that situation, that must be a living hell. I wouldn't know anything about it. So I hope this video was helpful. I'm going to try to come back and do some more stuff. We're definitely going to get into more witchcraft and Lilith stuff because I've been doing a lot of witchcraft lately. Those of you that want spells. Oh, while I'm on that, for the love of Lilith, no more love magic, please. I really don't like doing that kind of magic. I made videos telling you how dangerous it is and how it doesn't always work out the way you want it to, but everybody's like, I want this. Some people are ballsy enough to be like, I just straight up message me, I need a love binding. It's like, wow. Woo. You have no idea, like, that you really don't want to toy with that kind of magic. I want this person bound to me forever. Are you sure? Are you trying to control them? Why? Why should I bind you to? Do you deserve to be bound? Why must you be bound? So many questions. But you know, vengeful magic, if you've been taken advantage of in a real hurtful way, not a, oh, they stole $50 from me kind of way. You know what I'm talking about. Stuff I talk about in my videos. In that kind of way, you want vengeance. Or if you want to free someone from a bad relationship, I am much more comfortable with breakup spells than I am with love magic. Because breakup spells, if I'm choosing to do it, it's usually to liberate someone who's been trapped. You know, like the Eight of Swords. Look up that card. It's a bad card. Or actually, no, screw that. Watch my video on the bad cards in the tarot, because there's more than that one. That's just the one that hurts me the most. Well, not me personally, because you have to be, it only, you know, it's a female card, but it makes me mad, like demonically mad. Yeah. So I hope this was helpful. Remember to like and subscribe. Watch my older videos, support the channel, help it grow, because as eccentric and weird as I am, my information's important for many people to hear, and I'm no corporate tool, so YouTube doesn't like me very much. Spread the videos, spread the knowledge, embrace free will. Hail Lilith.